What happens when two American governments send militias to face off over a border? What if I told you it wasn't the Confederacy versus the Union, but Michigan versus Ohio? And the prize wasn't a strategic fort, but a swampy piece of land that would become the city of Toledo. We all know about famous American rivalries, but what about the one that nearly escalated into bloodshed? This is the story of the Toledo War, a conflict built on a bad map, political ambition, and the dream of controlling a future commercial hub. Our story begins not in 1835, but in 1787, with the Northwest Ordinance. This foundational document stipulated that the border between future states would be an east-west line, drawn from the southern tip of Lake Michigan. But there was a critical flaw. The best maps of the era, like the famous Mitchell map, misidentified the true southern tip of Lake Michigan, placing it too far north. When Ohio became a state in 1803, its leaders, hearing from trappers about the map error, panicked. They worried their state would be cut off from the vital Lake Erie coastline. So, they wrote a provision into their state constitution, angling the border northeast to ensure they kept the mouth of the Maumee River. Congress turned a blind eye, and when the Michigan Territory was created in 1805, it used the original ordinance line. The stage was set for conflict. This sliver of land, just 468 square miles, became known as the Toledo Strip. For years, Michigan administered the area, but its true value was about to be realized. By the 1830s, the completion of the Erie Canal had transformed the Great Lakes into a superhighway of commerce. The Maumee River, flowing into Lake Erie at the Toledo Strip, was the planned endpoint for new canals connecting to the Mississippi. Whoever controlled Toledo controlled a future economic empire. Tensions exploded in 1835. Michigan, led by its fiery 24-year-old boy governor, Stevens T. Mason, was seeking statehood. Ohio, governed by the determined Robert Lucas, moved to formally absorb the Strip. Mason struck first, passing the Pains and Penalties Act, making it a crime to enforce Ohio's laws in the Strip. Lucas responded by raising a militia and sending surveyors to mark the Ohio-friendly border. Michigan sheriff's posses rode into Toledo, arresting Ohio loyalists, tearing down their flags and dragging one through the streets. The so-called Battle of Phillips Corners saw Michigan militiamen fire shots over the heads of an Ohio surveying party, arresting 9 men. But the war's single moment of bloodshed came in a Toledo tavern. Michigan Sheriff Joseph Wood arrived to arrest an Ohio partisan, Benjamin Stickney. A fight broke out with Stickney's son, Stickney, yes, that was his name, who stabbed the sheriff with a penknife. Wood recovered, but he remains the conflict's only casualty. The crisis peaked in September 1835. Ohio planned to hold a court session in Toledo to cement its claim. Governor Mason marched 1,200 Michigan militiamen to stop it. But the Ohio officials, in a brilliantly farcical move, snuck into town under cover of darkness. They held a secret court session at 1 a.m., conducted their business, and fled before the Michigan militia even knew they were there. The war was effectively over. The only thing the Michigan forces could do was, reportedly, destroy a few gardens and orchards in frustration. President Andrew Jackson, facing an election and needing Ohio's votes, intervened. He removed the popular Governor Mason and pressured Michigan to concede. Facing bankruptcy and the withholding of statehood, a defeated Michigan finally agreed to a compromise in December 1836. Ohio got the Toledo Strip, but as a consolation prize, Michigan was granted statehood and given what seemed like a vast frozen wasteland, the western three-quarters of the Upper Peninsula. And this is the twist. At the time, Michiganders were furious. The press called the Upper Peninsula a barren wasteland, but they had, in fact, pulled off one of the greatest bad deals in history.
Because that worthless land turned out to be a bonanza. It contained some of the richest copper and iron ore deposits on the planet. For over a century, the Upper Peninsula's resources fueled America's Industrial Revolution, generating wealth that dwarfed anything Toledo could ever produce. So while Ohio won the battle for a city, Michigan unknowingly won the war for unimaginable natural resources. The Toledo War, a conflict of comic opera bluster, ended with a real-world plot twist of epic proportions. So, who really won the Toledo War? The state that got a bustling port city, or the one that accidentally acquired an untold fortune buried in the wilderness? This has been The Revealed Record. What's your verdict on this story? Let us know in the comments. To see how a soccer match once sparked a real bloody war, watch The Football War, when soccer sparked a real war next. Subscribe to The Records Revealed for more deep dives into the forgotten, bizarre, and shocking true stories of our past.